Grab your seats, we're about to begin. That's right. We're 100% live and it is Tactical Tuesday. Welcome once again to a Tuesday that is very, very tactical. And today we're talking all things marketing plans. Whoever's out there, I would love to know who you are and where you're at. We're in a number of different places. So we've got YouTube, we've got LinkedIn, we've got Facebook. So no matter where you are, feel free to leave a comment so that I can actually see where you are and what's going on with you. Now, if it's a replay, leave a comment as well, because I'd love to know if you've got any questions about the content I'm going to be sharing today. Now, today we're going to be talking about marketing plans in a way, but it's more about the marketing budgets. So how do we actually create a marketing budget for our business, and why would we want to do that? Well, there are multiple reasons to do that, because when I was starting in the world of marketing eons ago, I used to ask a whole bunch of marketing people who would do presentations, how do I actually decide how much money to spend on marketing? How do I create my marketing budget? And usually what I got back, well, it depends, and it obviously always does depend, but it used to be a case of, well, you either spend 7% of your turnover, or you spend 15% or even 20%. And it didn't seem to have any real reason for that number, other than it was a reflection of what you did last year, right? which made absolute no sense to me whatsoever. And so part of the work that I've been doing over the last couple of decades in really getting stuck into the marketing side of things was working out, how do you go about allocating resources to marketing activities? So it really comes down to a couple of key things, which I'm going to put on the board in a minute. But I'd love to hear from you. Why do you want to set up a marketing budget? Because I know for some people, it's about actually going, all right, well, I'm going to have X amount of expenses, therefore I can plan for X amount of profit in the year. How do I actually go and use that effectively? Where am I going to use that effectively? I've got an employee who's actually going to be running our marketing for us. How can I allocate a budget for him or her? And so there's all these questions around being a business owner and actually needing to know why you want a marketing budget in the first place. Now, for me, it's a case of actually forecasting how much money I can effectively spend on growing my base. Now, that's growing my growing my new customers, or keeping my existing customers. Also about creating a pipeline for those customers as well. So when I talk about marketing, ideally, it should be marketing into sales. And I think that's one of the key pieces that a lot of people miss when they actually look at creating their marketing budgets, and they go, oh, it's this percentage of whatever it is, or it's like an incremental increase on whatever last year's was. But in actual fact, the only way to create an effective marketing budget is to talk to the sales team. So I'll explain in just a moment. Let me move some things out of the way. I'll get the old whiteboard out, and we'll look at some numbers. So let's say, it's a bit in the way, move that over there. Let's say that we want to get 100 new customers. All right, 100 new customers is what we want to get. Well, the way to work out how many people we need to get in front of to get to that amount of customers is to first off start with the sales team. So the people who are actually converting prospects into actual paying customers, the people that are actually there to get the yes, will give you or should be able to give you a percentage of closing rate. Now, most salespeople will try to get out of the way of that, but there will be an average. And if you rely on the averages and you keep those averages up to date, they will work for you. A lot of people dismiss averages because they go, well, it's kind of like that, but that's not actually the rule. It is the rule. If you've actually done a year's worth of budgeting, your averages will be correct. So the average for sales is, how many people did you speak to and how many converted to a yes? That's your average. Now, let's say that the average from the sales on the pointy end of the sales, so the sales discussion was low. But let's say that we know what it is, right? So it's 10%. Let's say that we've got a low sales conversion, but it's 10%. That means for every 100 customers we want to get, we're going to have 1,000 conversations. Now, that's not realistic if you're a one-man or one-person band on the sales thing, but if you've got a sales team, that's absolutely doable, all right? So this is to the conversation. So conversations. Now, in different businesses, there will be a different sales funnel, but you need to know the steps in the sales funnel so that you can give your numbers on these percentages. So now, of the people that we engage with, let's say the people on our list, and that could be an email list, that could be like a list in a group, it could be like your network, whatever it might be. Every person we spoke to that we thought was a viable prospect that said yes to having a conversation with us, that was 1 in 4 people. All right, so 1 in 4 people, so that's 25%. So it means that you need to have 4,000 people who are viable on your list. All right, so this is the list. And then going outside of that, how much do you need to spend to get people into this thing? So the marketing budget should simply be a reflection of these conversion rates put into action. So if you go, all right, well, we are happy to spend, well, let's say $1,000 on getting a new client, because that client might be worth $5, $10, $100,000 for a business. It depends. So let's say that we're happy to spend, so this is our spend. We're happy to spend $1,000. All right. So if we take $1,000 and we divide it by 10, suddenly we're happy to spend $100 to get people into a sales conversation. All right. And if we're dividing that by 4, because we're actually going up to 4,000 people, we're happy to spend $25 to get a person onto our list. Okay. And so that's the math that just simply works back that way. And so all you need to do then is go, all right, well, do I actually want 100 people in, or do I actually want less, or do I want more? Once you decide that, then you just work back and go, all right, well, 4,000 people on average is how many I have to get in, which means that my marketing budget, if I want it to work, and I'm just going to quickly do the calculation, although I probably shouldn't need to, is going to be 4,000 times $25. All right, so that's $100,000. I really didn't need to do that, but it's $100,000, right? So 100K. Now, would you be happy to spend $100,000 to get 100 clients that are providing you, let's say that they were providing you $10,000 a year? So $10,000, again, I don't need to do this, but I'm doing it just to make sure I don't get it wrong, times 100 equals $1 million. Just want to make sure I got it right for you all. Would you be happy to spend $100,000 to get $1 million worth of sales? The answer should be yes, but with a caveat. How much profit is in this? So do you have 50% profit? Do you have 20% profit? The profit will matter to you. So you could be happy in 1 year to go, all right, we're having a building year. We're actually going to grow the business this year. And so we're happy to pay the same amount because we're going to have multiple sales over the years. Let's say that our average lifetime for a customer was like 4 or 5 years. All right. You might be happy to spend even up to $1 million knowing that you're going to get $4 million in return. Okay. So you just need to understand how much you're willing to invest for how much of a return, because that at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. Marketing should be an investment, not an expense. And most people look at the marketing side of the business as an expense. And if they are, it's because they're not doing these calculations so they can work out how much they should be investing to get the outcome they want. Now, the only thing to understand about this is if you haven't done this before, if you haven't grown your business before, then you might think that the conversion rates that you've been getting because you've just been doing word of mouth, you've just been getting referrals, maybe you have a small business that maybe only has 100 clients. And you proudly say, and I hear this so often, well, we don't do any marketing because everything's word of mouth. We get referrals on all our things. Basically, that tells me that you're small. Okay, so that you haven't reached that point in time where you needed to invest to get more people into your business. So let's say that you are small. You need to be careful of using referral conversion rates, which are usually much higher. Referral rates are usually around 70 to 80%, okay, versus 10%. Referral versus cold leads. So cold leads are people who've never heard of you before. You've brought them into your list. You've managed to warm them up and bring them through. Now, it will take some time to do that, or if you're doing it in a very quick way, you're probably going to get lower conversion rates. So my advice is to always underestimate your conversion rates. So if you're getting 20%, plan on getting 10%, sort of halve those rates. And then you can actually start to look at how much money you're willing to spend. Now, funnily enough, $100,000 is not what you need to put down at the very start of a financial year. You don't have to go, all right, well, my budget's $100,000, so boom, there's $100,000. We'll put that to the side. No, you need to look at it from a campaign point of view. And are there specific areas of the year where you need to invest more? Are there specific areas where you want to be consistent? And let's say that you just wanted to have a 12-month plan that had consistent catalyst or consistent campaigns each month. Then you'll simply divide that 100,000 by 12, and that'll give you your monthly budgets. And then you can expand that to your quarterly budgets and then to your annual budgets. All right. So that's how you go about doing the budget for your marketing. And then ideally that leads into your marketing plan. And the great thing about looking at something like this is that you can use this number here, which is $25. All right. We're willing to spend $25 to get someone onto our list. You go, what are the different ways that we can use $25 to get someone who can actually say yes to the things that we've got, but potentially isn't ready to say yes just yet? How can we spend $25 to get them on? And then it becomes this really fun game of actually growing your list and growing it at speed. And that's what's great about having a marketing budget. If anyone's got any questions on that, ask me in the comments below. I didn't see any comments throughout the session today. But if you want to know more about this and want to know more about how you can set up these, feel free to reach out to me. You'll find me at russellpearson.com. If you've got any questions between now and then, you can get me there as well. I'm going to also let you know about a webinar that I've been running, and I will quickly grab the details for that one. This is this pretty cool little on-demand piece that I've been doing, and it's available for free. So it's how to get better clients fast, right? So you're in this environment, whether it be 2020 or any other year, there's probably some dead wood in your clients. And I mean that with the nicest of intentions. There are some people who really are not looking after you and your business. They're not paying on time. They're not doing, they're not being easy to work with. They don't appreciate the work you do. It's potentially time to start getting rid of those sort of clients. They're your D sort of clients. And the problem with D clients is they will refer more bad clients to you, right? So you want to get rid of them out of your business. It may be time for you to do that and instead get more of those A-type clients, which are absolutely fantastic to work with. They're very easy to work with. They always pay on time. In fact, they even pay up front. They refer really good people to you, and they're a joy to work with. So I've put a webinar together called How to Attract Better Clients Fast. I'm going to put that in the link of this session, and hopefully that will pop up for you, but I'll go and check afterwards to make sure it does. Until next time, let me see if I can put that in. I'll just put it right there. That's how you get to the webinar. Posting it now. Fantastic. Until next time, stay passionate, and I'll catch you on the next one.